Hey guys, Numot here. Just wanted to thank you all for checking out this video. I hope it helps you in your journey in continuing to do what you love. Also, big shout out to Geico for sponsoring this video and making it all possible. Hope you enjoy. Magic is such a deep strategic game, but unlike something like chess, the best in the world don't win 100% of the time. There's this element of variance where, you're always drawing a random card off the top. You're never doing the same thing every single time. You would not expect a card game to last this long, and I think the fact that, there's so much depth to it, there's so many new cards, there's so much strategy, and just, like the name implies, the gathering, that's what so many people like about the game, because you're always interacting with people, you're making friends. It's crazy, and I love it. My name is Kenji Egashira, and I'm a professional Magic the Gathering streamer for TSM.
Welcome to day one. Thank you very much for being here. I hope you guys have a fantastic event. Couple things before we turn you loose. I know it's warm in here. There's a lot of people, so I'm going to make it super quick. Pairings are up. If you haven't seen them, make sure that you check them all day long.
So I'm from Seattle, Washington. Well, Edmonds, Washington, but I just say Seattle because that's where everybody knows. And been living in Washington all my life. Lots of hiking, lots of fishing, lots of outdoors activities. And a lot of indoor activities as I grew up playing Magic. My older cousin Daniel first introduced me to the game when I was probably 9 or 10. At the beginning it was just me looking up to him because he's my older cousin. He's playing this card game. I didn't know what was going on, but the art was super cool. And so I would kind of just collect the cards for the art. Eventually I learned how to play, and well, the rest is history. Going to a big tournament for the first time, it's so nerve-wracking, and plus I had no idea what to expect. But just through, I guess this is true of anything, the more you do it, the more you accept it, and the more easy it comes. So I will say that the first probably 10 big tournaments I went to, super nerve-wracking, but everything since, it's just like, just another game of Magic.
Our two competitors on the screen, Jean-Emmanuel Deprat.
Yeah, he's going to be playing against Kenji Egashira, and as you can see, it's 4-color Golos in the hands of Kenji, where Jean-Emmanuel has opted for the more stock version of Bant Golos.
As far as I can remember, my oldest decks were like mono red, which try to kill the opponent as fast as possible. It has what they call burn spells, which you can just aim them at your opponent's face to deal them direct damage, as opposed to trying to deal with their creatures first. You just try to kill them as fast as you can and ignore everything else.
All right, Crisis for 2. It's pure desperation mode here for Kenji Egashira, and all he can find is a growth spiral. He's going to scoop him up, and that is Jean-Emmanuel Deprat taking down the match 2-0.
I mean, we really saw, I think, what
One of the most memorable times was when I won my first big tournament online. It's called the Magic Online Championship Series, and that qualified me for my very first Pro Tour, which is the biggest stage event Magic has. As time has progressed, I've been playing in the Mythic Invitationals and these other large-scale events. So I'd probably have to say that the biggest for me was the Magic Online Championships, my winning that. But otherwise, there's just too many good memories from Magic to name. I'm currently 1-2, unfortunately, but that means I am still technically live for day 2. Need to get to 5 wins, but some 4 and 3s will make it, so let's just win the next 4 in a row. started 1-2, wasn't feeling too hot, but rattled off 3 in a row, so we're sitting at 4-2. My breakers are currently okay, but they are so volatile because of the number of players in the event. So even with a loss, I could make it to day 2, but let's just win. Let's just make it easy.
All the matches that will be featured on the main stage involve players who are 1 win away from advancing. If they lose, there's only a small chance they'll qualify from tiebreakers. We're heading into match 1 right away, so let's introduce our players. From the United States, a streamer by the name of Numot the Nummy running a 4-color Golos homebrew. Let's welcome Kenji Egashira.
This matchup is a 4-color ramp deck versus the most aggressive deck in the room.
It might be a little bit better in this matchup than traditional Golos variants because he's playing Deafening Clarion in his main.
That's right, that is a 3-mana sweeper. Now, to get in the mana together for it can be tricky, but if he does, it can really get out to a start. Now, this is actually a very clunky draw here.
So now what's Kenji gonna do? He could potentially play Oko and now turn that Ember Cleave into a 3-3, but he still has to deal with an army of 3-3s.
Yeah, really sweet stuff here. Kenji Egashira on the verge of a day 2 here at Mythic Championship 5. But for you Ken Yukihiro fans out there, this does not equal elimination, but the win does go to Kenji. He punches the camera and says, got him. And he's through to day number 2 with this sweet 4-color Golos brew.
All right, now you recently have gotten married and bought a house. How's that going? Is that very exciting life steps?
Shout out to my wife Emily, who's here with us, supporting me. So love her so much. You know, she's the backbone. If she wasn't in my life, I would probably just stream 24/7. And I know, you know, my fans out there are like, hey, get her out of here. Yeah, get her out of here. But you need to balance life and work. So she's great.
Oh, yeah, well, huge props to Emily because probably gives you the strength to do as well as you do. Well, congratulations moving on to day 2. Let's head on back.
I really try to give him some space and give him comfort without being too overwhelming because I know he's processing so much and he's like at these just emotional peaks for all these games that the last thing I want to do is like just run up to him and keep cuddling and kissing him and be like, oh my god, it's okay, it's fine, you know, like he's already trying to go through, you know, he's trying to process his emotions. So I really try to just like make myself available for him when he wants someone to lean on. I, you know, be supportive in the matches that are a bit tough, really encourage him in the matches that are great, and just remind him like that, you know, even if, like he was saying, if even the best players in the world only have a 70% chance, like they'll get them next time if it's not this time.
How do we meet?
We were so vibing. We met on Tinder.
As the cool kids do.
Yeah. How long have we been going out?
4 years? 3.5?
Yeah, a little over 3.5 years we've been together. We got married this year. And yeah, so I guess a little over 3.5. So at our wedding, we wanted to have a little bit of magic involved because obviously it's a big piece of his life. And so we opened a pack of, what was it called?
Champions of Kamigawa or something.
Yeah, so we opened a Japanese themed booster pack together, and we actually got a pretty good pick out of it.
Yeah.
And so like we were opening it in front of everyone, and everyone was like laughing. It was hilarious. It was great. Behind the scenes at tournaments, yeah, I mean, I try and travel as much as I can to support Kenji, and you know, I'm not always able to make it. A lot of times he's just texting me updates like 2-0, 3-0, and I'm just sitting at home like biting my nails. But the times that I am able to go, it's so nerve-wracking for me, especially if like I'm watching the game that he's playing and they're broadcasting it. I'm just like completely slumped in my chair, like heart pounding, because I just, you know,
she's more emotional than me.
My mood is his mood. So if he comes back defeated, then I'm bummed, and if he comes back winning, then I'm super excited. So I try and support him as much as I can, but I also try not to like smother him because it's so stressful and exhausting like mentally for him that I try to just be available when I can.
I don't think I want anything changed. I love the way the game is. Now obviously that adds some element of chance because in Magic the Gathering, there's this resource system called mana, where you need lands, usually, to cast your spells, and sometimes you just don't draw enough.
Who doesn't love Kenji Egashira? A streamer, a really, really good guy. Also, lives in Seattle, much like me. So I have to pick I like both. I like both players, unfortunately. Numot the Nummy versus Kvartek. Both these players have been playing Magic for a handful of years. Mythic Championships, not a ton, but they are making the most of the ones they've had the opportunity to play in. This should be a nice little match. I'm
looking forward to this indeed. So 4-color Golos, tell me about this.
If he doesn't draw a land right now, because he has no acceleration, it is bad news for Kvartek. So he needs to draw a land right now.
That's not a land, that's a frilled mystic. Yikes. No extra lands for you. You're gonna have to find it yourself. Nisu shakes the world off the top. That's not a land for Kvartek either.
You can make an argument of, well, maybe I need to draw Veil of Summer, or something to actually protect these spells, but he just said, no way, I'm just gonna play my stuff, forget this, and try to win this game. So Petty Theft is gonna bounce Golos back. Marley Pixie's the draw, and Kvartek is out of here immediately.
Yeah, it's 3-1. 2 more, baby.
We got the chance to have Kenji Egashira on the couch to reflect a little bit on the match he just played. And I have to ask, what is so important about getting both Oko and Clarion in there?
This is the mark of a professional. He's going to make sure he doesn't have to ever look back at one of these situations and go, "Oh my goodness, I got loose here, and I somehow gave away a game that I was a lock to win." It's another route, and Kenji's going to scoop him up. Jean-Emmanuel Duprat makes it into the top 8, and finally a big smile on his face. Congratulations, Jean-Emmanuel.
I don't show very many emotions usually, so she's like my outlet of emotion. Like when I win a game, I'm like, oh, nice, that was great. Or if I lose a heartbreaker, oh darn it, that was close. I must have done this or this, but I'm not like, or yeah, I'm not like super animated.
I'm his
one way
emotions
or another.
Amplified.
Yeah,
essentially.
so it's just like it feeds through me into her, and then she's the one that does it basically.
I think Emily's more upset than I am.
I guess find something that you guys can both enjoy, or appreciate what the other person enjoys doing, and you don't need to be overbearing or whatever. It's just like, even if you don't like the same game, you can still find opportunity to co-op in other aspects of life. So.
And I think it's good, like, if you have a partner who works in gaming, to help identify what is work and what is fun, because sometimes it can all just feel like a blur, and then you're like, oh, my husband just plays games for 12 hours a day, but in reality, he actually works 8 to 10 hours a day, and then he plays games as a hobby. So being able to identify that he's actually doing this as a career and to support us, I think that really helps with me in understanding and not, jumping on him for just playing games all the time. So I think that's a really good thing to have in a balanced, healthy relationship.
Which he still does, but
only once in a while, though.
I think we're good. Perfect. Yeah, I think that was great.
It was great.
Nice. Get out of here. Don't touch me.
Get out of here now! Oh, God!
if you'd like to see more Magic content, tell us in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.